Hey guys, welcome back out to the channel. Hey, just a real quick short one today. Nothing real profound to show you or tell you, but nevertheless, I got my stuff back from the machine shop. We had the, as you know probably, we had the case and the heads opened up for bigger pistons and cylinders, and so originally these are, you know, made for 85.5 pistons and cylinders, but now I have got them bored out for 90.5s, and that's going to turn with our stroker crank that into a 1904cc Volkswagen engine. So anyways, yes, I'm very happy with how everything come out. Everything's nice and clean and precise. The guy that did this, he's been doing this ever since the 60s. It's so hard to find guys that are machine shops that will even touch a Volkswagen engine, and there's only one in Western Kentucky that I'm aware of. There might be more, but there's only one that I'm aware of that will do this kind of work, and he's been doing it since I think the late 60s, maybe 67 he said. Even started cutting heads in 75, and he knows his way around a Volkswagen. In fact, I think it was my dad was telling me that back in the day, this particular machine shop, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, when everybody had Volkswagen Beetles and Carmagillas and everything else running around the streets, that people from all over would ship their engines to them, and they would basically tear down and assemble 2 engines a day and ship them off. So if you have that much experience on a day-to-day basis, you know what you're doing as a machinist, I think. Anyways, so yeah, though, I'm very happy with this. He did something that I'd never seen, but I'm kind of excited that he did. So a lot of times when you open these up for bigger pistons and cylinders, you'll end up boring it all the way through the case, but he put a step in there, and that basically will, once you stick in your piston and your cylinder, that really mates right up with that. So anyways, that looks good. One thing that I should have done before I sent this off and I didn't, was to CC the heads. In other words, find out what the chamber volume is. And I did that last night in the cool comfort of my own home, because it is a stifling 90-something degrees here and it's humid. So, and I didn't film it because it was, you know, everybody was home, family time. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what I did to do that. If you're just want to know the process, or a Volkswagen guy who said, oh, I've never gotten the chamber volume before, how do I do it? Well, this is how I did it. So basically, you put your plugs in just one cylinder, and then you take your valves that you should have had pre-labeled for this particular cylinder. And in this case, this is cylinder number 1. I take a little bit of petroleum jelly, a little Vaseline. It could be cocoa, it could be the plain Jane version. It doesn't matter. But hey, I like the smell of that. Anyways, and I put a little dab of that underneath each of my valves, and kind of coat that, and then sort of get in there. That way it seats that fine. Then I'll take the same petroleum jelly, dip my finger in it, and do it around this whole flat area, because what we're wanting to measure is everything in this whole area inside, because it's important to know that to get your compression ratio. Well, then I made this because I didn't have one the size for this particular cylinder. You remember those old things that we used to use, CDs? I still like to use them occasionally. I basically built this last night. I cut it out, the shape and size that it's supposed to be, and it's got this little raised area that your CD would fit in, and that works perfect for putting that in there. So with all that Vaseline in there, you essentially can just do that and seat that in there real good. My goodness, it's loud outside today. I apologize for that. Anyways, do that. Get you a thing of water and one of these. If you can get a better volume, that's better. This one just goes 10 milliliters. which is the exact same thing as 10 cubic centimeters. Basically, go to that mark, do it however many times. In this case, I went darn near 5 times, which that would be 50 cubic centimeters, and I had a little bubble, just a teeniest little bubble still in there, and filled it up again, and I injected another cubic centimeter in, and that was that. So we arrive at a chamber volume of 51 cubic centimeters, which is good. That's kind of what I was hoping. Some of these heads, some of them come up to like 57. I was kind of concerned because these Autolinea heads, some guys get them in at 57. I've seen some that were 53, but they advertise them at 51. So I was really hoping they'd be close to 51. That way I could have a more accurate way of guessing what I wanted my compression ratio to be. So with 51 cc's, once we get into putting that together, we'll measure deck height so we know how much is left in between the top of the piston and this cylinder, and that way we can get a compression ratio measurement. My guess, based off of the shims that I've already bought for that, I'm looking at probably at least 9-to-1 compression ratio, which I'm tickled with. It could go as high as 9.2 or even as low as 8.8. That's just my guess. We'll see how that pans out as we put together. But yeah, we're getting ready to assemble this bad boy. I'm excited. I'm glad it came in. I was hoping it would be this week and not next week. One thing we're probably going to have to do, actually I'm almost positive, but it ain't going to be bad. With a stroker crank, this is my first time doing a stroker crank, whenever your rods come through, now that the stroke is out further, there might be some clearancing one has to do. I won't know that until I stick that dude in there. So what I'm going to assume that I'm going to need is right here on this side, both top and bottom on each side, I'm going to have to take a little bit of material off, but that's no problem. If that's all we got to do, that is not a problem. And may have to do it up here, but I doubt it. That's probably more like a 78mm stroke. Once you get into that, then you get into a lot of other issues you got to deal with. And then a good case bath, I guess, to get all this aluminum and, or sorry, magnesium and all that stuff out, and it'll be home free. So we're going to get that assembled pretty quick. It'll be my goal by maybe the end of this week is to get at least that little short block done and be well on our way to get the long block finished. So because there is a few little things I want to clean up the exhaust just slightly before I slide these babies on. They need to be opened up a little bit. These heads are actually a lot better than the stock heads. They don't need near as much porting, but I do want that opened up. It would help out a whole lot. So we'll do that. But yeah, we still got some to go, but it's not going to be that daunting of a task, I don't think. So anyways, that's all I wanted to share with you today, that I'm just happy that came in and we're on our way to get going. So until next video, we'll see you.